everybody. Thanks for joining us at the Preferred Adventure Center for another Trailblazer Tuesday. I'm sure there's going to be a link posted with this back to a previous Trailblazer Tuesday where we talked about the FBI, okay? And you might want to go back and revisit that. But I'm going to tie this together with the Trailblazer Tuesday from 2 weeks ago. We started talking about communication, and because it all makes a lot more sense, all right? 2 weeks ago we said that what happens when people hear something is they hear it, hopefully they hear all of it, but at some point they stop listening and they tell themselves a story about why the person is saying what they're saying, usually. But they tell some kind of story to explain what they're hearing, and this takes about 4/10 of a second in your brain. And then they react. They don't react to what you said. They react to the story they tell themselves, which is why people don't get upset at you for what you say. They get upset at you for why they think you said it. Okay. Now remember, if you go back and look, the FBI was a way of giving somebody criticism or a compliment. It can be either way, in a manner that might actually get a change and not a hurt feeling. And the idea was, you go to somebody and you tell them what you're feeling, and you hopefully do this as soon after the behavior that they have, that they exhibit, that you want changed as possible. But you tell them what you're feeling, you're telling them the behavior that they did, and the impact that it had. Okay, so in other words, I should have followed one ahead of time, but okay, but this is the same one I used last time. But I made some changes to the computer system over a weekend and surprised everybody with it on a Monday. Okay, and what should have happened is somebody should have came up to me and said, Dan, I am feeling panicked and overwhelmed because without any warning you changed the computer system on a Monday morning, and this is how I have to start my week, and I don't think I'm going to get caught up all week. And because of that, I already think my whole week is shot. Okay? Now, why does this work? And I know, giving criticism, even in the form of an FBI, is difficult. And I know I ask you guys to go up to people and tell them, I'm giving you an FBI, so they know what to expect. And I said to do it in this order. I know it happens sometimes, but most of the time we're still just giving each other compliments. And we're lucky, we work among a bunch of people that do such a great job, we very seldom have to say anything negative. And when we do, that's probably when the FBI's come out, but I'm telling you, do it this way with regularity. And the reason it works is because what you're doing, when you state your feeling first, you're not telling them what happened. You're jumping, that feeling jumps straight to the why story. So now they don't have to tell themselves a why story that may or may not be right, that may or may not cause them to react in a way you don't want them to react. You're telling the why story first. And then you're telling them the behavior, so you're going back here. So now when they hear the behavior, they're not automatically constructing a why story that's going to be upsetting to them, because you already told them the why story. And after you tell them that story, you're doing what every good presenter says they're supposed to do. You tell them what you're going to tell them, then you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. You're following it up with the impact, which goes back to the why. Okay? The chances of them telling themselves a story that's incorrect and reacting inappropriately is very, very low, because you've intercepted that bad story. All right? So, I just want to encourage you, go back and watch the video for you people out there. If you want to watch the video on giving you an FBI, go ahead. I think I'd strongly recommend it for you people here. Seriously, We need to make this the habit, the normal way we do things, and think about doing it right. Don't just, whether you're throwing out a compliment or throwing out or giving somebody some feedback on something that you want to change, if you do it and you would tell them, especially when you tell them, you're lucky, everybody here knows what an FBI is. We can all go up to each other and say, I'm giving you an FBI, we all know what we're talking about. Get past that uncomfortableness and deliver it this way, and you will be able to deliver criticism. I'm not saying you're never ever going to hurt anybody's feelings, but you're going to get the reaction you actually want most of the time, because you're controlling this part of the communication process, and you're telling them exactly what you do or do not want to happen again. And for most people, the natural reaction to that is going to be to do or not do the behavior again in the future. So, sometimes this stuff seems crazy, but in reality, most of the time, as with most things in life, if you figure out why, it'll make a lot more sense to you. That's why people who know what and how always end up working for people who know why. So learn to know why. Makes all the difference in the world. All right, thank you very much. Remember, life's never going to be a walk in the park, so don't just go on a walk, go on an adventure. And thanks for joining us for Trailblazer Tuesday.